All right, how's it going, everyone? Alex Glenn here again. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the video. Today, I'm going to go through something a little bit more like specific, or some of you may not be interested in it, but I think most of you, majority of guys looking to build muscle will be. So today, the main topic of this video is how to build with or grow your lats, or your just in general your entire back. So I'm going to take you through a back workout that I'm going to be going through today, and I will kind of get into the nitty-gritty details, explain why I do what I do, and the strategy I kind of have behind my back workout. And in turn, hopefully this will help you grow your back and get better results, or a wider, get those wings, those wide lats. Also today, I kind of have a busier day today, so I'm going to show you kind of how I go about my diet and nutrition when I'm on the road, when I don't necessarily have time to cook majority of my food throughout the day. So I'm going to talk about that for a little bit, and I'm going to show you kind of how I go about that. So stay tuned, and hope you guys enjoy this little back workout edit. All right, guys, so to start off today's back building workout, we're going to be focusing on how to grow our back and build those wide lats, or wings, I guess you could say. So the number one way to build a wider back, which is what I'm currently focusing on, because my back is, I would consider, one of my weak points. I've got taller person genetics, so therefore I have very, very high lat insertion, so my lats aren't as wide as I'd want them to be. So in my opinion, the absolute best way to build width to your lats is by doing a vertical pulling motion, specifically a weighted pull-up or pull-ups. If you can't do a pull-up, lat pull downs, wide grip lat pull downs would have the same benefit, and you can build your way up on those until you're able to do a weighted pull up. Weighted pull ups are so great because you can progressively overload in them, and there's something that you can get stronger on. So say 1 week you strap a 45-pound plate onto your body, and you can do that for a good amount of reps, and you're solid into that. And the next week, you can easily progress up and add more weight onto it. So progressive overload is just super nice with weighted pull-up with a weighted pull-up variation. In my opinion, it's by far the best exercise you can do to build width to your lats. Personally, I've been doing them for a long time, and they've greatly helped me. So as you saw, I started off with like my second set with only like 20 pounds attached to me. And then after I get really fatigued in my weighted sets, I'll drop the weight and just go back to body weight and do a few burnout sets, because I still have more reps left in the tank, but with my body weight, I can just get a lot of volume and get really good blood flow to my muscles and try and get a good pump. And you can even see here on the last set, I went from a wide grip to a narrow grip to just try and get as much out of my vertical pulling motion as I can. So really focus on your vertical pulling motions, like your pull-ups and lat pull-downs, if you want to add width to your lats. So being that our goal is to just build a bigger back in general, we don't want to just focus on building wide lats. We want to have balance to our back and add thickness to it as well. So that's why you're seeing me include lots of rowing motions as well. I like to go maybe 60% of my workout with vertical pulling motions, and then the other 40 or maybe even 50% doing horizontal pulls with like rows, or just variations of different kind of row movements. So after you can see that I've done my 2 compound movements, another great way to build your back and add width to your lats is to complement those compound movements with accessory movements, like you're seeing here, single arm cable pull down, to really target those like finicky weak spots of those muscles. So for example, what I'm doing here, the single arm pull down, it really does a good example of completely isolating my lat, and I can really just focus on working that muscle and build that mind-muscle connection. So really take every workout you're doing to build your back very seriously, and really make sure you're feeling the contraction. One other thing I'm going to mention that's very important when you're building your back is you need to learn how to have scapular retraction. And that means, for beginners or people who don't really know what that means, that basically just means tucking your shoulders back, pushing your chest out. You're going to feel your kind of upper back lock into place. That's kind of the best way I can explain retracting your scapula. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow to take lots of the biceps out of the movement, lots of your shoulders, and it's going to put a lot more of the focus on your back, because one of the biggest mistakes people make when they train their back is they fail to isolate or target the lats, and they allow their shoulders or their arms or any other part of their body to take over the movement, and therefore they don't get the full benefit from their back workout. So that's about all I have to say for right now. I hope you guys enjoy this commentary, and I will touch in more later on the benefits of building a wide back and how to build a wide back.
All right, guys, so I just hit awesome back and tricep workout, and now I'm starving. So now it's kind of like the second part of the video that I was going to talk about, and that is how I make my diet convenient and easy for me when I'm on the go. So for example, today I am not going to be home all afternoon. I've got some errands and I've got some stuff I have to do this afternoon. So basically I'm not going to be able to cook for myself. So what I do, I highly recommend and I enjoy doing, is something you guys have all heard of. I just, every now and then I'll prep my meals. Meal prepping works great if you want to prep your meals throughout the entire day. But for someone like myself, I personally just prefer to prep a meal or two rather than my entire days, because personally I'm able to cook majority of my meals from home. So I'm just fortunate like that. But meal prepping is a great option for those of you who are in a hurry or don't necessarily feel like cooking all the time. Saves a lot of stress, time, and effort. So what I have here today for my lunch is 8 ounces of 96.4 lean ground beef. I have 300 grams of broccoli and cauliflower. I have a 100 grams of brown Uncle Ben's ready rice, and I have 30 grams of cheddar cheese sprinkled on top. Doesn't look the greatest because it's in a Tupperware and it's been sitting around for a little bit, but it's still going to taste good. It's going to help me hit my macros and calories for the day. And the cool thing about meal prepping, is it can be tailored to however you want it. And I use it as a great tool for me, especially when I'm going out with friends. I can tailor it to what I'm going to be eating for the rest of the day. So, for example, today, being that this is going to be the only meal that I have to prep for the day, I know that I'm for sure going to be able to cook my meal later on. So here it's a very balanced meal. I have a good source of protein, decent amount of carbs, and also a decent amount of fat. But let's say if I was going out with some friends for a night and I didn't know exactly what I was going to be eating the rest of the day, I could keep this meal mainly very low calorie and very protein dense with a lot of volume. That way I can save my carbs and fats for later on in the day. But for a day like today, when I know I'm going to be cooking the rest of my meals later on, I can afford to have a more calorie dense and more balanced carbohydrate and fat filled meal. So that's what I have here. I can't wait to eat this. It's going to taste amazing. But literally we have no excuses. This literally took me 15 minutes to make this huge thing of food. But yeah, no excuses. Just work with what you got and make the most of it. So that's all I gotta say right now.
Hey guys, so I'm here right now to kind of finish and wrap up the rest of this video. So I had my commentary over my back workout, and I kind of went into detail of what I was doing and everything, but being that I had to kind of keep up with the video, I felt like it was just kind of a jumbled, big kind of mess. So right now, what I kind of want to do is just, in a little bit slower pace, just go over in a little bit more in detail how to really build your lats and kind of explain what I was doing in the video. So to start things off, the bread and butter to build a bigger back and wider lats, in my opinion, I mean, it's okay if you guys disagree with me, but personally, I have found the best results and have seen other people get the best results when it comes to doing vertical pulling motions. They're going to target the lats, their outside area, and build width to your lats. This is a great exercise, specifically weighted pull-ups. I am a big fan of those, or any kind of pull-up variation. And if you're unable to do pull-ups, lat pull-downs, they're a great way to start as well. So I see so many people and they can't quite get enough pull-ups, so they can't get the form down. Start with lat pull-downs, very basic, and work your way up all the way to weighted pull-ups. If any of you guys want to know more specifically on where I learned more about this or more details just in general about it, you can go check out guys like Greg O'Gallagher, Nick Bear. These are the guys that kind of really taught me about the bread and butter of pull-up variations and stuff like that to build the width in your lats. I very much agree with them, and they have great information on that stuff as well, so feel free to check them out too. But yeah, so anything with weighted pull-ups is going to build width to your back. And I like to complement that with lots of rowing motions. So pulling motions are vertical, like your pull-ups and everything. Rowing are horizontal motions. So I like to complement that with about 50 to 40% rowing motions of various angles. You can be, you don't have to be specifically horizontal, but you can vary the angle on that. And that's going to help build the thickness to your back, because overall we want to have a balanced looking physique. And if we just have a wide physique, we want to add some thickness to it as well to just look overall balanced. So don't completely neglect your other back movements. So then another important part to growing your back and seeing results is, first of all, being able to just work your muscles properly. It's one thing to be able to do a certain exercise and do a bunch of other exercises and think you're doing it right. But what many people don't do, and they do this for other body parts as well, such as their chest or their legs, is they don't do the motion correctly. Therefore, their form's not right, or they're not having the right tempo, or they're just not building the mind to muscle connection that they need. So when you're training your back, I find this body part is so crucial to build that mind to muscle connection. And what I mean by that is that you can feel the muscle contract and the muscle move when you're working it. So the biggest thing to help you do this is to learn how to retract your scapula. So your scapula is this area, I don't know if you guys can see, in between your shoulder blades and your shoulder. And in order to fully activate your lat muscles in your back, you want to retract that. So what I mean by that, I kind of explained this in the video, you want to tuck your shoulders back and lock everything into place. So you're going to kind of stick your chest out from behind. Literally, you just tuck everything back and you're going to kind of feel your shoulder blades pinch and squeeze together behind you. So whenever you're doing your rowing motion, you let a full stretch come out, and then as you're rowing back, retract everything and row. Or if you're doing a pull, calm all the way down, get a full stretch, and on your way back up, you're retracting your scapula just like this, and then you finish through with the movement. That right there is going to allow you to isolate and target your lats in a much more efficient manner. And you're going to see a lot better results by learning how to get that mind-muscle connection and retract your scapula. Some very common mistakes I see is when people are training their back, they don't know how to retract their scapula. So therefore, when they're doing a row motion, their shoulders have kind of collapsed, they're detracted, they're not retracted, and you're letting your arms do all the work. And honestly, they may think they're working their back, but really they're not getting any activation in their lats whatsoever. Or if they're doing pull-ups, they try and reach with their neck as far as they can and really pull down, but what they don't have is their scapula retracted like this. They're reaching out as far as they can to pull themselves up, and they therefore don't build that mind and muscle connection or properly activate their lats. So I think this made a little bit more sense. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to explain what I personally do and my personal advice to help you guys build your back up, build those wide lats, those wings. And yeah, so hopefully you take something from this and get some results in the gym. So I think I'm going to end the video right here, but like always, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and always ask me if you have any questions. So see you guys.